Hello everyone, I'm Saket Bansal and I'm back again with one more interesting conversation. And this time I have Soma with me, and she is healer and happiness coach. And she will share some interesting talks related to energy healing. I am from project management background, many of you may already know. So I'm learning and trying to understand how we can take assistance from this process, what kind of problem we can solve using these healing technique, and probably we can apply some of these ideas in our professional and personal life. So we will explore together. Like, Soma, welcome to the session, and
Thank
please
you so
share
much.
something, yeah, some background first before we talk about your healer and happiness coaching. Yeah.
Sure. Like I was telling you, when we were anyways talking, that I am an MBA by education, and I have a 16 years of corporate life before moving into something like this. This was my passion. I started the whole process or the knowledge of energy healing while I was working in the corporate, and I had something extremely personal as a situation to face, which made me start having faith in the process of energy healing. Basically, my mom
Mhm.
had a serious ailment, and I wanted her to get much better. So I started to learn therapies which can help her aid the process of healing, apart from the medications that was going on. So that is how I got into the first practice of energy healing called Reiki. And once I learned that, I saw that her health was very, very nicely improving. And that motivated and encouraged me to learn more therapies. So I got into that, and it was during the lockdown and the kind of situation that we were facing all around us that triggered me to leave my job for good and take a leap of faith and take up my passion as my profession. So it was during the lockdown that I started the practice of energy healing as a full time profession. So ever since
Okay.
lockdown, it's been a wonderful journey, extremely fulfilling, and thankfully, I haven't had to look back so far. So
Okay.
now I'm an energy healer. I am a happiness coach. I am a tarot reader. And what I essentially do is help people feel empowered from within through the skills and the gifts that I have and the knowledge that I have. And I essentially am on a mission to spread more smiles in people's lives, because I feel that a smile is way more infectious than any virus. So the more you smile, the more you will see people smiling around you. So that is what I am on.
Okay. That's great, great. So tell me a little bit more about this energy healing, because say people like me who are generally coming from professional project management background, we may, like, at least I can talk about myself. I hardly know anything about it. So what is this whole process?
First of all, to understand energy healing, let's understand what is healing. All of us, we have lived a number of years in this world, and we all understand what is healing. When we are a baby, we are born in a certain state of our energies, of our body, of our mind, and that is our original state. As we grow up in the process, we pick up different judgments, ideologies, beliefs, ideas, and we develop memories based on the journey of our lives. And most of the times we are trying to fit into the society, and we pick up a lot of things from our environment. So what happens is, in the process of wanting to fit in, we try and do certain things which may or may not sit very well with us. Sometimes we do end up getting emotional wounds. So whatever original state we were in, we digress from that, and we actually get wounded, either physically, emotionally, or mentally. When you are in a different state of mind or different state apart from your original, and you want to come back to your original state, that is what is healing. Healing does
Hmm.
that. It helps you to feel empowered so that you come back to your authentic self. Now, energy healing is a very interesting thing. It is believed that everything around us is energy. You are energy, I am energy, anything around me, even this pen, is energy. Now, everything, because it is energy, it is vibrating at a certain wavelength or frequency. Energy healing basically attracts specific energies from the universe that is already present with us through the healer, who becomes a medium and channels that healing energy to anything or anybody. When that healing
Hmm.
energy or healing frequency codes are transferred to a person or a thing, then what happens is it helps to change the vibration, the energy state of that particular thing or person. And when the
Hmm.
energy state changes, it helps the person or thing come back to its original form, its authentic shape. So that is what
Okay.
essentially energy healing does. There are various techniques of energy healing, like Reiki, like angelic therapy, like access bars. A lot of things that I follow does pretty
Hmm.
much the same thing. So, because you change your own vibrations and frequencies and energies within, you are able to come back to your original form and feel empowered.
Okay, so if I understand it right, please correct me if I'm getting it wrong. So the person creates habits based on their memories and the compulsion of the society. And many times, whatever their external behavior is not matching with their core personality, their style, their way of thinking. And because they want to fit into it, some kind of adjustment keeps happening, and that adjustment consumes some amount of energy and creates a kind of a space like a trouble in the individual personality. And with the help of energy healing, the healer can help in the person to recover that problem, to take care of some kind of a cure for that thing, so the person can feel comfortable with the original self, as well as probably the person can also deal with the society in the original self without getting too much worried about those adjustment. If I am getting it right, is this the thing you are
Absolutely
saying?
right. Absolutely right. The word that we basically use in this term is that there is one you, which is an authentic you. So you have an
Mhm,
authentic self, and then you
mhm,
become a cultural self. When you
mhm,
pick
mhm,
on the energies or different beliefs and habits from your culture and your society around you. What
mhm,
energy healing does is, while keeping your cultural self intact, it does help you to come back to your authentic self so that you can shine in the world from your unique qualities, because you are
mhm,
unique. You have your
mhm.
unique abilities, and your personality is unique. So you can exhibit that originally
Okay.
in the world that you're living in.
So if I just summarize it further, so it's like that there is a authentic self and there is a social compulsive behavior, and in the absence of healing, the person might be doing that social behavior with a lot of conflict, because the person has
Yes.
an internal or conscious or subconscious conflict, and they are behaving like that, which is creating a negative or a problem for them. And once they get healed, they can get rid of that conflict, and they can live with both the original self as well as the cultural and social environmental behavior in peace rather than remain in conflict. Is that the thing you are trying to say?
Yes, yes, absolutely. In fact, while you were saying that, there is this thought that I wanted to share with you. Like, most of us think that we are obligated to living a certain way, and we need to create our lives or live the lives as per how a society sets as expectations to us. So, one should dress this way, one should talk that way, one should be that. And we use a lot of shoulds in our life. What is the word should? It is basically trying to adhere to somebody else's expectations and choices, right? But when you become aware, and this is where healing helps you, when you start to become aware about your original qualities, about your authentic self, about who you truly are from within, you start to reflect that from the space of awareness. You are now aware that you are this kind of a person, and therefore, when you are aware from within, whatever you do in the outside world operate from a space of choice and not an obligation. So
Mhm,
the word should gets deleted from your life, and gets replaced with the word could, which creates
mhm,
possibilities. So, can I
mhm.
do this? Is it my choice? It is becoming a choice from awareness.
So what I understand here is that the person understand the external compulsions or the societies and the internal behavior. But once we have an awareness of these two things, they are no more compulsion, they are choices. And you start behaving that if I do this, probably society will acknowledge me. If I really want to get acknowledged in the society, I do that, else I don't do it. But I'm doing it because I want to fit in this particular way, but I'm doing it. It is not like I don't have a choice. I know I can do something else also, but since I want to have a healthy relationship with the surrounding environment, I am doing it without complaining about it. So that awareness get creates. We are not saying that person will start behaving in their original self as soon they get healed, but they will start having the awareness so that they can be in peace rather than in complaining state. That's what I'm
That's
getting
true.
it.
You got
Perfect.
it right.
Yeah. Okay. If I don't get there, yeah. So in another word, what kind of problems usually these kind of gaps, and sometimes the problems could be severe, sometimes the problems are not very visible, but what symptoms or what problems one see when they have a more and more conflict or when they are not healed? Yeah. So what they are going through right now.
Problems can be anything, honestly, especially when they come to a healer. A problem can be anything. We can mainly categorize it in four categories. One is physical problem. You have a physical problem, you have a stomach ache, you have a headache, you have a fever, you have pain in your knees, or or even more severe problems like cancer or IBS, or the last case that I'm dealing with is autism. So you can have physical problems that can be healed. You can have emotional problems, problems related to your relationships, problem related to your own relationship with yourself or your spouse or your mother-in-law or somebody in the family, even
Mhm.
with your children. You have problems with your mental issues also. There are a lot of people who come with a lot of stress, a lot of negative thinking, a lot of anxiety and worry about different things. So, and also there are certain spiritual problems where people are completely feeling disconnected and completely cut off from anything to do with this world. So there are certain spiritual problems as well that people come with. So mainly physical, emotional, mental, spiritual problems are there, and all of this can actually be addressed by energy healing, because energy healing in general is very holistic in nature. It kind
Mhm.
of penetrates to the root cause of what is causing the problem, and it really helps you to heal at a holistic level, not just physically. So let's say somebody comes to me with an emotional problem of certain relationships. It will
Mhm.
go to the root cause of why this is getting caused. It will try to heal that emotional problem. But in case the person is having any physical problem or mental trouble, it will heal the person in all those aspects as well.
Okay, okay. So what I'm understanding is that if I have a lot of conflict, which might be subconscious conflict rather than consciously I'm aware of, and that subconscious conflict may get manifested in physical pain, emotional pain, or other life problems. And with the help of healing, those if the conflicts gets resolved, the root cause is getting addressed, and the person can benefit in the holistic manner, physical as well as emotional level, can have a better relationship and deal with the happiness can come along. Yeah, that's something I'm getting. Yeah. So
Right.
maybe the some people may say, okay, looks great idea. Yeah, but probably I'm not convinced it will really happen to me. Something is there. So how one can experiment, because maybe I think there is no harm in experimenting rather than just believing it is going not to happen or happen. One has to try it out, then only we can see something. So if someone wants to experiment this thing and say, okay, let me work out with you or with some healer and see if I am getting some benefits, what is the process of experimenting it? What is the process of trying this healing from you?
Of course, one can come for a trial session and see how it goes, understands the whole way of energy flow, because the moment you come as an from the point of view of experiencing what energy healing is, you need to surrender. You need to
Mhm,
surrender, and you need to surrender to the entire experience of receiving this energy healing. So one can come for a very short trial session with me and at a very personal level really experience how energy healing works. The other way is to attend any short workshop that I can take, either
mhm.
online or offline, but a very short workshop that I can take where I give a very brief introduction to what energy healing is, and then let them experience the process of energy healing through a beautiful meditative guidance. So if someone comes to me for a workshop, I can take a, let's say, a 1 hour workshop where I begin with giving an understanding of what exactly is energy healing. We can talk about Reiki and how Reiki works. What are the benefits of Reiki as a process of an energy healing practice? And then I can make people actually experience the beautiful, relaxing energies of Reiki. When they
Mm-hmm.
go through a meditative process, they are in a very relaxed state of mind, they are very focused and in a state of surrender. And when you surrender, you are in a way bigger state of receiving. And when you receive it without judgment, without ego, you actually feel the energies, which makes you feel relaxed as well as healed at the same time.
Okay. So what I'm sensing is that one can do an experimental trial session. That something is coming. One can also get educated about it. And usually in your educative sessions, you also give an experience which is linked with a meditative process. And in your way of working, since the meditative process opens up for the receiving, and so that helps you in seeing and getting healing coming to you, because that's a state which is in peace with the environment or whatever the sense you are in. Yeah, that is what I'm getting. So one can enroll for a course or one can take a trial session. Yeah, that's a summary I'm getting it. Okay.
Yes.
And how long does it take? If I have a problem, say I have a relationship problem, and I want to get healed. Yeah. Now, many times which I face, because I also did a little bit of TA, transaction analysis, and all those things at some point in time. Yeah. So there could be a second party also in the relationship rather than me alone. Yeah. So how long this whole process take, and how much one can fix without the second party probably collaborating on in it. Yeah. So two questions in a way. Yeah.
Yeah, so see, relationship definitely does involve two people together, whether it is your spouse or family member, children, anybody, friend, anybody. But you must understand that anything that is happening to you is actually not. um it's not a one way process. You actually begin everything in your life from you. Everything begins
Mhm.
from within. So we think that the world is happening to us, the life is happening to us, whereas it actually begins from us to the world. So when you
Mhm.
start to change your focus and start to work on yourself and your energies, then a shift begins from within. And when that shift begins from within, you start to change things. You will automatically notice that things will start to change around you. Be it relationship, be it a goal that you have been planning to manifest for a while, anything. Because because of the change, your vibrations, your energetic state of the mind and the body has changed. And because that change has begun from within, you will start to see a change in the external environment of yours as well. So, in a
Okay.
relationship healing, when you start to change from within, your behavior will start to change, your mindset will start to change, the way you're dealing with the outside party, whoever it is, will start to change. The way you look at the relationship will start to change. And because of all these changes, the way they are dealing with you will also gradually start to change.
Mhm. And that's the point I was trying to focus on, that the gradual process, because it will not change overnight. The other party may have an impression about me, they have my own image. And even if whatever I'm doing, they are still looking at their impression, which they have created in the last 1 year, 6 months, and all. And I think that is where many time our coaching also starts facing a challenge. It takes a time to give a consistent new feeling, new behavior thing, so that the other person really recognizes your new image rather than keep seeing you from the previous filter. Yeah. So I think it takes time. That's my personal observation in our coaching and other thing. So like usually how long it takes, and like what people should do in order to stick to it, because many time I see people like give up during this process. Only they start it, they get some benefits, but once the other party is still not cooperating, yeah, because they are taking time, and then individual give up. So how much time it
Yeah.
takes, and how do you keep the person motivated? These are two things.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Like you said rightly, it is a process. So healing is a process. Also, it is not permanent. Nothing in this universe is permanent. Not even the body that you're in right now is permanent. Everything is temporary. It is all about you keeping up the pace and going on in the waves of life. So some days
Mhm.
will be very nice, some days will be really horrible, some days will be amazing, some days will be, you would rather forget about those days. So it is a process. And
Mhm.
healing also is a process, and usually for a person to see a change in their lives, it will take about 3 to 4 healing sessions. I
Mhm.
usually take healing sessions per week, and per session lasts for at least an hour to 90 minutes. For a person to see life differently, you will need to spend some time with them to give them a different perspective altogether, and for them also to accept, the overall conversation and the energies within them. So usually
Mhm.
a time period of about 4 sessions, that is a duration about a month, is what we see for the real changes to start happening. And after we go through the healing sessions and we see the difference in a person's life, what happens is I give certain techniques and self help tools for the person
Mhm.
to maintain those practices, but
Okay.
ultimately understand that you are the creator of your life. You are rather the co-creator of your life. You have been given this love life by the creator. You are now responsible for driving your life towards the destination. So you are the
Mhm.
driver of your life, right?
Mhm.
Ultimately, you need to work on your life. You are responsible for your emotions, your thoughts, your actions. So
Mhm.
if you are purposefully living your life, you will be able to find that life is beautiful. Your
Okay.
perspective in life will change, and a healer will bring you to that level from where you can feel empowered and you can fly. But
Okay.
yes, if at all you do not maintain those practices, don't maintain anything, and don't take any action towards yourself, then nobody can help you. मैं तो
Okay.
क्या, कोई नहीं कुछ कर सकता है externally, because
Got it.
ultimately we are all external beings.
Yeah, yeah,
Ultimately, it
yeah.
is you who has to work towards it.
Okay. So what I understand is that the healer can probably do an intervention, and that will take around a month. And during the month, the person should commit to the experience, to the healing, to the sessions, and take some corrective and whatever actions they are coming out of those sessions and the awareness. And it is something like a healthy eating habit kind of thing. So one can put you to a particular focus eating habits for a while, but after that one has to continue with it, else you will go back to the same problems like before. And in order to sustain that thing, you provide them some tips so that they can self-sufficiently continue the healthy habits of emotionally not damaging themselves. And yes, one has to do that work, and if they get stuck somewhere, then they can revisit to the healer, get some extra dose of vitamins, and then continue again. That seems to be the process which I am understanding.
Absolutely right. It's a lot like visiting a doctor. You have a problem, you do
Mhm.
go to a doctor. They will give you the right medicines as tools that will give you that relief and that you're seeking. But ultimately, if you don't take care of your body, your health, then you will
Mhm.
get back into that same kind of a problem. And then you
Mhm.
will need that revisit again to the doctor. So it is
Perfect.
very
Perfect.
similar to that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, yeah, the experience can be done if I summarize in a simplest manner that one can get benefit in their emotional, physical problems because things seems to be connected, and the energy seems to be a connecting force as per your understanding and the overall theory around it. And in order to get an intervention, one can start with a simple trial session, and then they can go for 1 month event where they can do a kind of 4 or 5 sessions, and that will help them in channelizing the right energy that seems to be working. And if you are in a relationship problem space, you are the one who will drive it. The healing is not going to the other person, it is going to you. And you can see your behavior is also getting mirrored by other person, so by changing your behavior, you are changing their behavior also. It may take some time because they may have an old behavior in their mind, so but you need to stick to it and follow the advices, follow the healing process yourself, as well as in guidance with the healer and coach. Yeah,
Very beautifully
great.
put. Yes.
Great. So I got this idea. Now, can this thing can be done online? Can you
Yeah,
do an online session? Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely. I have clients. I am based in India. I am based in Gurgaon. I have clients based in London, based in US, based in Africa. So I can, energy does not understand time, distance, and space.
Mhm.
It does not, it can be at one point in time in multiple places. So it does
Mhm.
not understand that you have to, it's not human, it's not matter. It is energy. So it is abundant and it can be present anywhere. So it travels through thoughts, and one point in time you can think multiple thoughts. The human brain has a capacity to think 60 to 70,000 thoughts in a day. Imagine that. So
Mhm.
energy is abundant. So you don't really need to be present physically. It is definitely possible online. And in fact, sometimes some of the sessions, I don't even open my laptop or the phone. It is just absolutely offline. I am sitting in my healing chamber. The client is sitting in their, or lying down in their bed, or anywhere on the couch. And the healing energies can travel to them without any device, just with the
Mhm.
intention. अपने संकल्प से energy travels.
Okay, so it can be done in a distance mode. You don't have to be connected through phone or the video also. There could be some sessions which can be done in the connected mode, but there could be disconnected mode, distance healing as well. That's what we are
Absolutely.
learning. And I think, as much I understand in talking to you in the last half an hour around, it's more about experiencing it. I think it is even very difficult to put into the words, and maybe you one person gets a lot of counter thoughts as well when they are listening to these words. But if you go through an experience, and thankfully you are giving a trial session kind of option as well to the people, then only they can get the feel of it. Yeah. So before we summarize or close, what kind of a thing one can do on their own, maybe just as a result of watching your conversation? If I want to take a one step, I can say, okay, let's start with this. Yeah, and what kind of one tip you can give to the people?
Yeah, sure. So even these are some of the things I tell people when I, give them the tips to heal themselves after they have taken the programs with me or the sessions with me. The biggest thing that we do to ourselves is negative self-talk. Even if you want to manifest something, let's say you want to manifest a wonderful relationship with anybody, with your spouse or with your children or with anybody. What you instantly do is, in the process you say that yeah, everything is good, everything is wonderful, but it might not last for very long. अभी के लिए तो
Mhm.
heal हो गया है, अभी के लिए for the time being it is fine, but it might not last like this forever. What you're doing is, just by putting that but in that statement, you are completely letting go of all the efforts that were put towards creating that positive thinking and that positive energy in yourself. So most of the times, negative self-talk is a big killer in the whole process of healing. And we
Mhm.
consciously and most of the times unconsciously practice a lot of negative self-talk. So what we I advise to a lot of people is to convert this habit into positive self-talk. If you are consciously or unconsciously telling negative things to yourself, ultimately you are the creator of the negative talk to yourself. So if you can
Mhm.
create negative self talk, you can also create positive self talk, because ultimately you
Mhm.
are creating it. So when you say positive things to yourself, it really helps in changing the vibrations of your body and mind, especially. And in spiritual terms, we call the positive self talk as affirmations. So
Mhm.
affirmations
Mhm.
are nothing but positive words, affirmative words put in a sentence in present tense, because energy, like I said, does not understand time. So for
Mhm.
energy, everything is right now. It's happening right now. So when you
Mhm.
talk positively to yourself in present tense, whatever you desire in your life, you start to attract that. For example, if you want a desirable relationship around you, if you want to be loved, so you keep telling yourself that I am lucky to be surrounded by empowering people who are always boosting my confidence and giving me a lot of love. Things like that.
Mhm.
I am always loved. I am very, very lucky to be supported by my family. I have a loving and harmonious family. Things like that. I bond very
Mhm.
well with my friends. My friends love me.
Mhm.
you
Mhm.
know
Mhm.
and also, if you want to make it a little more creative, then this is something I even talk in the books that I have, or in the practices that I give them, that you start to create questions, and you start to create
Mhm.
empowered questions. Because when you're asking a question, your brain is trying to find the answer to that question. And
Mhm.
naturally, it will create that search and will not rest till the time you actually find that answer to your question. So, for example, if you ask this question to the universe, how do I get so lucky to be surrounded by amazing people all the time? Your brain might not have an answer to that. and that will trigger your brain to find the answer. So even if you
Mhm.
are not finding the right people around you, you will end up actually getting surrounded by amazing people because your brain is
Okay.
trying to find them for you.
Okay.
So these
So
kind of
if
empowerment questions is something they can do. The other thing I really that has really helped me personally is the habit of journaling. When you are
Mhm.
journaling, you are changing the thoughts into handwriting, into actions. So whatever
Mhm.
you journal, journaling is a wonderful process of either releasing your negative self-talks or whatever you are getting bothered with, you're stressed out about. You can write them down, and it is a process of release of that. You will feel a lot lighter when you write them down. The other is, it is actually a process of manifestation. When you
Mhm.
write them down, how do I get so lucky that I'm always surrounded by amazing people? You're grateful for what you have as a blessing in your life. You will see that that is amplifying in your life much more than
Okay.
expected. Yeah.
Okay, so if I try to summarize and understand it, so first one you are talking about that developing a positive thinking habit and getting away from negative self-talk. That's something which we are picking up, and it can be that you keep thinking about, I'm a lucky guy, I get all the love and affection, people like me, and people end up liking you. I can put it in my personal experience. I'm not into healing and all, but I do little bit coaching here and there. So what I see is that we all have positive and negative experiences, and it all depends upon what we are picking up. So if I have a relationship with one person, the person might have helped me 100 places, might have harmed me at 50 places. Now it depends upon me if I am focusing on the 50 or the 100, and whichever I pick, that will amplify. Yeah, that's a simple thing. If I keep picking up the positive thing which they have done for me, and they're fact, I am not making that I am a lucky guy. I have 100 things which I am lucky about. I'm in a full body shape. I'm lucky about it. I can speak. I'm lucky about it, provided I think about it. Else, I can also feel I'm living in Gurgaon. There is so much pollution. This much I can feel unlucky about it. It depends, yeah, where I look at it. So I think we can start focusing on what we have rather than what we don't, and that could be a fact-oriented positive self-talk. It is just not an imagination, and that can create more and more those facts which you have, and they are facts, they are just not an imagination, and they will grow. That's what I can pick up from your thinking. Am I getting it right?
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
absolutely right. It is an inherent nature of energy. And they say that wherever your focus goes, wherever your attention goes, your energy flows. So if you're
Mhm.
focusing more on the negative things of life, negative side of life, that is what you're getting. That is growing in your life. And if you're focusing more on the positive things of life, that is what is growing in your life.
Perfect. Yeah. And then if we can extend it further, we can ask questions also. The questions can give you a kind of a seeking mind in the head, which can help you in getting maybe a better answer and the flow of energy, because the question remains with the universe, and universe tries to help you in finding the answer. That's something as an
Yes.
extension of it. But I think positive thinking is good and easy to start with. And the second thing you are talking about, journaling, it's like we keep doing in our project management space. If I have so many things to do, I make a notes of it, then I feel relaxed. I can't sleep if I don't make the notes of it. But if I write it down, then it's cool. Yeah, I will do it tomorrow. It's in a list. Yeah. So I think that may also help in the emotional space when you are going through something. Then and maybe you are talking about a positive side or negative side of it. If you write it out, I think negative things goes away, and positive things get more manifested in you because you are making a written note about it. So that's what I'm picking as a habit of
Yes,
journaling.
yes, absolutely. And journaling, in fact, has helped me a lot in the
Mhm.
personal space. And because of that, I have, for the first time, in fact, authored my own self help journal, a self help workbook that helps people to actually release their stress and gradually program their mind towards positivity. And because I am a NLP based happiness coach, so I have used a lot of these NLP techniques and triggers, the neuro linguistic programming language, to ask certain prompts and certain questions that will help people to find those answers from within that is causing unwanted negative thoughts or stress in their life, and to release those in that journal.
That's good. You may wanna talk about a little bit more about your book. Where can people find it and what it contains? Yeah, little bit.
Absolutely. I'm super excited to present this My Stress Bin. It is called
Mm-hmm.
My Stress Bin because in this journal, there are practical tools based on NLP. which is neuro linguistic programming, which will help you to identify what is causing stress in your life, to bin it literally, and to gradually reprogram your mind towards positive thinking. And not just that, I have given exercises where you can create your own positive self talk, your own affirmations, and convert that into empowered questions so that you can stay and retain that state of positivity in your life. This is available on Amazon, on Flipkart, on the major sites that is there that we can think of. And please support this, buy this, and I would love the feedback that one can give after practicing the sections of this journal. There are three sections to this journal. I fondly call the three sections as the RRR model, and I have mentioned that in the journal also. There is the
Mhm.
RRR model. The first R is to release the stress, the second R is to reframe your mind, and the third R is to retain that positivity. So one needs
Mhm.
to attempt all these three sections together, write the questions that are asked in that journal, and then see the magic happen.
Great. So now we have a one more tool to experiment it. We can start with a book. We can start with a one-on-one trial session. We can join a event or a talk or a session, which is a group session where we can learn about energy healing and also experience it. So these are the three possible way people can get a feel of this process. And if they feel positive about it, they can also enroll to a 1 month kind of intervention, which should be good for them to experiment and get some benefit from it. Yeah,
Absolutely.
good. So I thank you. Yeah, anything you wanna add in the closing thing? It was quite interesting conversation, at least for me. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I would only like to say that all of us are healers and all of us are wonderful beings and we all have a purpose. So if you in any way you're feeling low, in any way you're having some kind of a problem, or if you want to achieve any goal, do not hesitate to ask for help. Half of
Mhm.
the times do not even ask for help and do not even acknowledge that we are going through some things. So it is okay to acknowledge that there is something that is going on in your life, whether it is a problem or if there is a desire that you want to achieve. We are all deserving and we are all worthy to achieve anything that we desire in our lives. So if you really want to achieve something and you're not able to do that by yourself, ask for help. You will always find help when you ask it from the universe. They will make sure that they find you the help. So while you heal yourself, while you live your life, I hope you live it with purpose and live it with a broad smile. And if you want to increase your smile and keep smiling more, then we are all there for you.
Thank you so much for taking time and sharing the concepts and the intervention energy healer can do. Thank you very much for coming for this session.
Thank you so much for having me here. It was lovely connecting with you.